Okay, time now is 10:35 a.m. in the morning on November 1st. We've made it to November. Woo. Um yeah, so I slept from 5:05. Yes, you heard me right. 5:05 a.m. to 10:30. Um so fuck. Last night after I got home, I basically took about 40 minutes just processing what the fuck just happened. And then, um, yeah, I basically took 40 minutes processing what the fuck just happened. And then I decided to finish the others, the film. And by the time I finished it, it was already like 4:10 a.m. And then at 4:10 a.m., I, uh, I decided to clean my nails. So I rubbed off all the nail polish because I just couldn't bear the idea of having nail polish while being on my bed. And I thought to myself, the truth is, after today, I don't think I'm gonna wear black nail polish until a long, long time later. So might as well do it again, you know? So I'm waking up a little early today right now because I will do the manicure again. Um, yeah, yesterday was fucking weird. Screaming was weird. My voice is very low again. It's been damaged, my vocal cords. Um, yeah, I'm also feeling really tired as fuck. Um, and, yeah, that's pretty much it. Franklin's just not responding to me at all. I, I wanna, I want to go to an actual party tonight. Like, not whatever the fuck happened yesterday. But Franklin's just not responding at all. Um, yeah. Also, I received the call sheet for tonight's build for the film, and Equo is the first AD again, which is hilarious. I keep end up being with him. Um, yeah. So, yeah. I don't have anything else to add. Um, yeah, last night was weird. Um, and I want to sleep. Uh, Today I'm gonna go to a discussion class for CTCS 200, and then I'm gonna have lunch outside. I originally wanted to go to the gym because every Friday I should go to the gym, but I'm not gonna because A, I'm tired as fuck. B, yesterday's running and jumping around, basically the gym. Basically the gym. So, yeah, that's today's plan. CTCS 200 discussion, lunch with Parkin, the other Hong Konger guy, and then I'll go home and rest for a bit until I work on a film set for a bit. I'm gonna leave early um so that I could go to a party. I don't know. I don't know. And hopefully Rachel goes with me because I know Franklin's just not gonna be responsive again. Okay, time now is 4:52 p.m. Just came back home and took a shower. Um, yeah, so this is the plan, right? So I just went to CTCS 200 discussion plus a lunch. Actually, I'm just gonna talk about what happened today so far because I feel like whatever happened in the next
few hours, I won't be able to talk about until tomorrow morning. So, yeah. So, I, woke up and it was pretty simple. I need to do my nails and eat breakfast. And that, once again, I underestimated how much time that would take. And I ended up getting late by like almost 20 minutes to the class. I walked to school again, of course. And there was an empty seat for me. Between Matt and this other Chinese girl, there's a seat. And I'm like, haha. And I sat there, and yeah, it was nothing. Nothing's learned. Nothing is said. I did talk to Matt a little bit. We're both figuring out what classes to take. And then Rachel was there. So I have a decision to either follow Matt or follow... Not Mitchell, Rachel. Either follow Matt or follow Rachel, because I do want to talk to Rachel about the plans for tonight. But I do want to talk to Matt about everything else. So I ended up following Matt after class, but I ended up running into Audrey. I was like, hey, and Audrey's like, hey, and she looks really confused, and she's like, who are you playing tonight? Or like, what character are you playing? What costume? And I'm like, nothing. And I showed her, I just did nails, and she's like, that's it? It's just like black nails, and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay. And then it's interesting because a lot of people talk about Halloween here. Matt was like, what did you do for Halloween? And I'm like, nothing. I ended up doing nothing. I just went downstairs and listened to some music. Part of me wants to tell him, oh yeah, I went downstairs and screamed. But it's a little too extreme for an answer. And he's like, oh, well, that's better. That's honestly the best way to celebrate. Matt, I feel like Matt is like friendlier to me again today, but like in a jokey, almost like ironic way. Like, I was like, oh, I'm so burnt out and tired. And he's like, what did you do? And I know it's a corny answer because we're in film school and we're film students and we're cinephiles. And I didn't want to say it, but that's like the only answer. I said, oh, watching movies. And he's like, oh, watching movies, so sad. Like, poking fun at me. And then I'm like, oh, no, there's a bunch of stuff. And he's like, yeah, I get it. And then I and Matt talked a little bit. I was like, oh, I have a question for you, and I've been meaning to ask you for a whole week. And he's like, what? And I'm like, 310. Like, if you know anyone who needs help on 310s, like, please let me know. And he's like, yeah, but, time's running out, TikTok. And I'm like, okay. And then we talked a bit about just, like, visas, like, O1 and stuff like that. So Matt doesn't want to go home immediately. He wants to have lunch outside. So I told him, oh, there's, like, a bunch of, like, food trucks. And then we talked, and I finally asked him the golden question that I wanted to ask him since day one. If you're Singaporean, why can't you speak Mandarin or Chinese, or Cantonese? And he's like, no, because no one ever taught me. And I'm like, really? But like, you're Singaporean. So I don't know, it's really weird. Apparently, her dad is Malaysian Chinese and her mom is Korean. So he's also half Korean, but he identifies with Singaporean more. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, we met this Chinese guy. He's from Dongguan or Donggun, and I can tell because he's speaking Cantonese, and I'm like, oh, that's Cantonese. And then I hear an accent, and I whisper, oh, but there's an accent though. And Matt started laughing. I'm actually kind of funny when I want to be. When I don't want to be. When I don't plan to be funny, I end up being kind of funny. But yeah, we met him and we talked a little bit. And then, yeah, exchange IGs, which is again kind of weird and random, but like that's the life of USC, I guess. And then he left, so I wanted to catch up with Rachel, but she's busy, and it's okay. I don't want to depend on her too much because Rachel is based in Santa Monica. She lives in Santa Monica, so. If she really wants to go to party, she wouldn't drive all the way to USC just to go here. Second of all, why am I relying to someone who like gets late and messes up all the time? Like she keeps accidentally missing assignments. The CTCS 200 discussion assignments, she keeps missing them. I missed them twice, but I remember to do them in the future. So I mean, she's a little clumsy. So I just thought, okay, I shouldn't rely on her. So tonight, with or without her, I'm going to the Haut magazine place because I suspect Colin will be there, or at least I'll be meeting some random people that I have somehow seen before. I just know deep in my heart. And Franklin's gonna be there, and he's pretty sure of it. So I'm like, okay, if I'm there alone, like, I'm going to find Franklin, and I'll just stick with him for the whole night. So that's gonna be exciting. So anyways, I waited a little bit. I went back to SCA 3rd floor, and I drew on my notepad, sketchbook, and Parkin, the guy who I was supposed to meet, apparently overslept. So originally the plan is meeting him at 1:30. I ended up meeting him at 2, and then we lined up at Dulce and had a conversation and ate food for about 2 hours. I ordered a hambon sandwich with blueberry matcha, which I've never tried before. Tastes pretty good, actually. And he paid for my meal, which is a little embarrassing because he's younger than me, but I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'll treat you next time. And we talked, and surprisingly our conversation was pretty deep. Or for him it's pretty deep. For me it could go way deeper. But he's a journalist student, he's a news student. So he basically interviews me. I feel like I'm being interviewed. He's like, so how do you come to be? What led you to the decision to do film? And then I started talking about my life, and I talked about my ideals, and we talked about politics for a little bit, and left, right, Hong Kong's politics, American politics. He's going to different cities to attend Trump and Harris rallies, to document things and interview people. He went to Las Vegas yesterday, which is insane, and he went to bed at 6 a.m., which is fucking insane, but it's not as quick. But, like, I went to bed at 5 a.m., so, like, it's honestly not that big of a difference. And then we just talked about the future and, like, talked a lot about, like, I don't know why, but I can be very poetic. By accident, like, I talked about how the moment I left Hong Kong, I was split into 2 personas. One persona is in Hong Kong and one is in here, and I talked about, like, what Hong Kong means to me now, and how whenever I go back I feel pointless, and whenever I'm here it feels intense, and how, my dreams and stuff, talked about some of my film ideas. And he's like, wow, this is actually a very insightful and interesting conversation. I love talking to quiet people. I talked about how I used to be a very quiet person with no friends, and how I'm kind of doing the opposite when I have arrived here. When put that way, my life is actually kind of interesting, but at the same time, my life is not that interesting, But it was a good conversation, and I was like, okay, let's meet again next time. Moments like this, because he's only here for 1 semester, and he's going to be gone from LA in 2 months. So he's like, yeah, I will not be able to experience America fully. And it's a bit of a shame. And meanwhile, there's me. I've been here 3 years. Sure, I go back to Hong Kong 4 times already, but 3 years still. And I will be staying here for way longer, and I get the full experience. I'm getting the full LA experience. I'm going from ground up, meeting friends here. But at the same time, I miss Hong Kong, and I'm doing all this for Hong Kong. There's actually a great rift in my identity. My Los Angeles, fighting, the filmmaking, going back to Hong Kong, dreaming, the sadness. Anyways, one of the producers of the short film I'm going to be working on tonight, called Imperfect Us, DM'd me or texted me saying, hey, I'm going to pick you up at 4:45. What the fuck? For a call time, which is at 6 a.m., literally right beside the campus. So now he's going to pick me up at 5:30. Way better. So that's great. I have a little time to chill out right now. I'm going to finish my nails here. I also fucked up some of my nail polish here. I'm going to work on that. And then I'll just, I'll go to the film set. I'll leave early. And I'll go home, change my attire, and then go to the Haut party. I still can't figure out the Venmo Zelle thing. I'm gonna just pay when I get there. Yeah. But yeah, and that's it for tonight. I don't think I'm going anywhere tomorrow night and Sunday night. Obviously Sunday night, nothing's gonna happen. But I don't think I'm going anywhere Saturday night anyways, because I'm tired. One party is enough. And yeah, hopefully it's gonna be interesting, and Uh, yeah. Yeah.
Marva had to deal with the
Bro, what the hell?
Okay, time now is 9:16 p.m. I am back at home. My nails are absolutely fucked because of the film set. Um, Lots of chipped. It's like the worst thing you can do after doing your nails is to work on a film set and build a table that requires a lot of screw driving and a lot of wrenching and yeah. But anyways, I'm back at home now. I'm gonna quickly have a mini dinner. Um, and then I'm gonna go to the party. And then that's it. I'm gonna go home at 2 a.m. ish, and then I think 2 a.m. If I go home at 2 a.m. and then directly go to bed, it would still be earlier than I normally would go to bed. So it's fine. Either way, I'm getting a lot of sleep, actually, ironically. Yeah. I made this dinner in like 13 minutes. Not even kidding. Okay, I just finished dinner. It's 9:55 p.m. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna call a free Lyft there. Yeah, this is fucking crazy because last night one of the reasons why I don't want to fuck my hair, it's like perking out. It's gross. Ooh, it's turning into triangle. What the fuck? Okay, last night, one of the reasons why I waited so long was because I don't want to go to a party alone with no one accompanying me. I would just look like an idiot. But, yeah, I guess I'm left with no choice because Rachel, she's probably not gonna go to USC, like this area. Glenn, I don't know where he is. Maybe he's in his frat still. So, like, the only other friend I have to rely on is Franklin, who is not responding to my messages, but I know for a fact that he's at the Houghton Magazine place. So, yeah, another thing is I haven't paid yet because my Venmo doesn't fucking work. So, there's a great chance that I'll go there, get rejected, I'll come home and act as if nothing happened. Or, I go there and I pay, but I can't fucking find Franklin. Either way, I'm going now, and it's gonna be incredibly awkward and embarrassing and cringy. I just need to stick it up. I just need to stick it in. I just need to survive. I just need to stand it, endure it, you know? Hopefully some other people I know are gonna turn up in that goddamn place as well. Hopefully a couple of people I know are showing up there. Oh my god, my hair. What the fuck? Yeah, this is what happens when you take a shower and then you go outside and you do a bunch of stuff and then your hair is just messed up again. It's just like perking out, like this whole chunk right here, this whole chunk right here. Okay. Whatever. standing around like a cult. I have a terrible feeling about this one. Maybe I should just go home and sleep. Fuck me, what am I doing here? Fuck, 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 I don't want to talk to people.
Are you gonna go back to Hong Kong this winter?
No, I only go back in the summer.
Really?
Oh, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then she like randomly was like, we should stop being friends because I keep having to split my time between
Oh, come on. Okay, yeah, man.
I'll go into somewhere else. They don't visit places like that.
Okay, but if they go to somewhere else, it's gonna be. The fuck? Someone was playing Radiohead's Body Snatchers over there. That's fucking crazy.
In 150 feet, turn left on Portland Street, then arrive.
Okay, time now is 1:25 a.m. in the morning. I just came back home. I'm still in my attire, still with these nails. Oh my god, my eyeliner. The Korean girl gave me these eyeliners. It's kind of weird having double eyelids as an Asian person. Also, this is very light. You can't even see from afar. Not bad. Not too bad. So today's my first college party experience, and honestly, it's not bad. Also not that crazy. I don't know. I miss the times when. To be fair, there are very hardcore college parties. This one is relatively tame. It's more of a social event. But I really miss the time when I would think weird ritual cult shit would happen in parties. And by that I mean euphoria shit, like sex and violence, you know? People arguing and fighting, people making out, people getting naked, like just insanity. Maybe that does happen in frats, but like obviously this is a garden party where it all takes place in someone's yard. And it's a lot of walking around and talking to people and singing and dancing to music. I was kind of awkward at first. I was like, hey, so fun fact, I didn't say it's fun fact. I was like, hey, so I didn't have Venmo, so can I use Zelle? He's like, yeah, you can Zelle, and then it's $13. So the pre-sale ticket is $7, and then afterwards it's $10, but now it's $13. So apparently it gets more and more expensive the later it gets. So holy shit! So $13. But was it worth it though? I think it is. $13 is cheaper than a meal, honestly, in LA anyways. And it's not too shabby, not too terrible. And at first I saw Franklin and I thought, okay, great. There is literally zero other people I know here. But more and more people sort of pop up. So, there is, Calix, the Wasian guy from APCA. I met him and he's like, oh, I was like, oh my god. So I tried to, I don't know why, but like I've created a persona, or not persona, but like a mode of myself where whenever I'm in social situations, I have a way of speaking and walking and talking in order to make myself seem relaxed and not nervous. I look tired and I like smile, but I try to like be a little cool about it. And I'm like, I try to say a joke in a very cold and like dry humor kind of way. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like that's my character. It's almost like a character, but like I'm kind of used to that. So this isn't the first time I've been in a very social event. Like again, those cliff parties, they're not parties, they're hangouts. But they're very much social events. And then like clubs, right? APCA, Hong Kong Student Association. Like I always get into that mode whenever I have to. And I sort of do that here. Today is basically a giant social event, but a little more hardcore, but just a tiny bit more hardcore. So it's nothing that crazy. It's nothing too out of my territory, nothing too out of my lane. And yeah, it's honestly very reasonable. And Calix showed up, and then I saw Josh, one of the presidents of APCA, and then which is nice. He's clearly a little bit drunk, and then I think it's his girlfriend or something, but like I don't know, I thought he was gay or something, but I guess not. And this girl was like, I guess this is the moment where the girl was doing kind of suggestive like sexual dancing, like almost lap dancing in front of Josh, but Josh was standing up. So it's like lap dancing, but standing up. But like, and then apparently someone made out, but like that was it. It was relatively tame. I did meet a few people. This random Korean girl, apparently she's only 18, but she's really tall. And she's like in a white dress, and she looks like she's came out of Euphoria with her makeup. She's hanging out with Franklin, and yeah, so that's that. And then I keep telling people, guess what costume am I doing? And I'd say Enoch, and they're like, Enoch? And I'm like, yeah, that's my name. So I'm just playing me. And some people think that's lame, but that's part of the joke. But some people, they're too drunk, and they're like, yo, that's clever. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad you feel that way. Anyways, I told her that. At first, it's like, I think the first hour-ish, I was like very, I wouldn't say awkward, but it's like, I don't have the spice, I don't have the riz. You know, Franklin and this other guy who apparently is from Hong Kong, but he speaks English all the way. He's from HKIS, like an international school. His name is Lucas. Both him and Franklin are wearing the same costume. And especially him, he's like dancing, having fun, and like touching girls and like drinking and like very outgoing. And they have the riz, so they would go around and girls would just talk to them and like girls would be interested. But like I don't, I just stand there kind of awkwardly and I try to strike up a conversation, but it still like doesn't reach that level. But I do eventually meet like a few people. One is a girl, she's a little plus size, a little big, but she's from Shanghai, China, but she speaks perfect English. And we actually got along pretty well. She's in screenwriting. She's trying to transfer to film production. So Franklin is in Haut magazine, like he's in one of the positions, and she's under him. And she also knows Colin. So speaking of Colin, he showed up. More on that later. I and Franklin also ran into another woman, very tall blonde woman called Athena, and apparently she's doing 310 right now. She's film production. So I wanted to ask for her IG, but I got distracted because Colin showed up. So that's a bit of a shame because I could just go and be like, yo, if you need help for P3, Project 3. But yeah. News, breaking news. So Colin showed up, which is a nice surprise. Also, not too big of a surprise because I know Colin is kind of involved in this magazine as well. And I was prepared. I know I'm gonna see him, and I said, yes, I have appeared again. I'm a recurring character. And he showed up with some of his friends whom I've seen already. Yeah, so I talked with Colin a little bit. Apparently Colin transferred to film production. He successfully transferred. Holy shit. Am I really that bad? Like, I don't know. I feel like I sometimes get jealous when I see people get into film production and successfully transfer into film production. But at the same time, right now I'm also content with being in camps, because being in camps means I can minor in something, and that's even more fun than studying film. Also, it's like production, no production, it's like not that different anyways, like in terms of outcome. Like, you still have to find your own path and network your own way. But I am a little bit jealous of the whole, the whole film production, sort of like the cohorts and like the drama and just like the whole system of it is really fun. Like, you feel like you're on a track and you're just with a bunch of, like, a lot goes on, and that's, yeah, so I'm like, great. So Colin's not taking 290 anymore, so I don't know why I'm taking the 290 next semester. I have to take it. Yeah, I'll probably, I don't know now. I truly do not know anymore. Yes. But the good thing with Colin being in production is that if I and him become good friends, which I think will happen, I have an in production. So that's really cool. So his other friend, Anya, came. Anya is this white girl whom I've ran into like twice already. So so I already know her from CTCS 200. Like, she's just there sitting with Colin in the middle of the lecture, the theater. And she showed up in the Anora screening at Century City. And then when I ditched class this Monday, she was there. And then today she showed up again, and we finally talked. And wow, we talked for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but like, wow, we had such a good talk because we're so aligned ideologically and artistically. Because she's like an artsy horror film person. I'm an artsy horror film person. Holy shit, we're so similar. And we talked about like artsy films and, Shinji Iwai. She really likes him, and novels, but I don't read enough. And then I recommended her some animes, and then yeah, we just talked. We talked about LA, and she said she hates LA. She said it's like a capitalist hellscape, and poor people are suffering every day. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like LA, but for different reasons. I mean, yeah, that's one of the reasons, but I think LA in its core, like in its, like the people, the mood is just not for me. And then I talk about like just USC and like finding an artsy group of people, and then like making dark, sad shit, gross shit. So it's so cool. So her, Colin, and another person, they're all in this horror group. They're just like freaky horror people who likes making gross, sad horror films, which is like my group. I either stick with the art house group or the horror group, or, it's an overlap. So we talked and talked and talked, and it's been so long, and then by the time we finished talking, it was like 12:20-ish, or like nearly 1, and then like I reconnected with Franklin and Lucas and this other random Asian girl who's like super drunk, and then like this Korean girl who is slightly drunk, and then like nothing too crazy. There's a lot of physical contact, like this Lucas guy keeps like putting his hands on my shoulder. And this Korean girl, she's 18, which is like crazy. She's like a child, but she's really tall, and she's nice to me. And we did have a pretty good but brief conversation at some point. Apparently her grandpa is like kidnapped by North Korea and is a filmmaker. And I'm like, oh shit, I saw a video essay about him, but she never got to see him. And then, yeah, and then that's it. And then everyone just kind of left at 1 a.m. People just left. And I didn't leave until way later when Franklin left, because Franklin's part of the Howard Magazine, like, team. So he doesn't get to leave until much later. But yeah, he leaves, and I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna go home. So actually, it's like kind of crazy. It's like kind of early right now, actually. It's 1:39 a.m. To me, that's kind of early. Yeah, like if I take a shower now and go to bed now, it would be like 2:15-ish, which is crazy. And that's good. Yeah. And I don't really have anything important to do tonight either. Like, I don't really have any films to watch or videos to edit or anything. I have like nothing. And I can go to a film set tomorrow. It's funny because like Shirley was like, oh, you're gonna come tomorrow, right? And I think when she asked that, she knows I'm gonna hang out at a Halloween party, and she's worried that I'm gonna be completely drunk or hungover and I'm gonna stay up super late. But like right now it's like not even 2 a.m. Normally I go to bed at 4 a.m. Like this is nothing. This is child's play, like in terms of sleeping time. So honestly it's fine. And the call time is 10 a.m. and it's nearby. Like I can just wake up at 9. And 2:30 to 9, that's like 6.5 hours. That's not bad, bro. That's not bad. But obviously Sunday I'm probably just gonna sit it out and not go. Yeah. So yeah, and maybe I'll go to another Halloween party. I ended up wishing there's more, but only because I have FOMO and I want to meet more people. And I'm starting to get why party. The dancing is a little annoying, and the music, most of the songs I don't even know or listen that much. But it's the people you meet that's kind of like part of the fun. These like meaningful, interesting conversations, or just conversations in general, is very stimulating. And going to a party means not missing out and being in events, and I think that's important. I think that's the appeal, that's the selling point. So yeah, I may go again tomorrow night, but also I'm tired. And the reason why I say I want to go again, or I wish it's longer, is because I feel like I'm still missing out. I still feel like there's something going on and I'm not there. But I always feel that way, Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm going to set tomorrow, so yeah. I got a rubber glove to cover my hands during the build today. Did I even talk about the build? So I went to Robert Zemeckis, like 2 white guys. One white guy picked me up, but there was another white guy in the car. We went to Robert Zemeckis Center, which I normally go for my art directing class, but the other building. I went to the main building, which is really fancy. I went to a sound stage, and there's like a huge screen, and it's like Unreal Engine is on it. And apparently this is virtual production. And then I connected the dots, and I'm like, Equo asked me to get onto a virtual production set. And I said, oh, I have another film set, so I'll see if I'm free. I think the other film set and the film set Equo referred to are the same. Because Equo is the first AD for this one, and this one's also virtual production. It's gotta be the same. So that's fucking crazy. But Equo didn't show up today. I'm sure I'll see him tomorrow. I wanted to DM him, like, yo, we're in the same set, but I feel like it's better if I do it in person, like as a surprise, even though he already knows I'm gonna be there. So Shirley's there, and I worked with this black woman who's kind of quiet and a little rude at first, but you know, we had to build this table, this giant table, and it's so fucking complicated. It's such a complicated table. It's probably from Amazon. So many like nails and screws and screwdrivers and wrenches, and my nails are still like very delicate, and I'm scared that it's gonna fuck it up. Because I keep fucking up. Like after I did my nails just now, like before I left, I tried to pull my pants up, and then this is just fucked. Like the nail polish is just fucked. So I was really scared. But it's later on I realized, oh yeah, I have a rubber glove in my diagonal bag. I grabbed it, I used it. It was a good idea. But yeah, nail polish is truly like a nuisance sometimes, even though it looks good. 2 people on the film set today noticed my nails and said, oh, nice nails, like nice like color. And I'm like, thank you. And today, I think during the party, people were also like, oh, that's nice. Because it is like, I do have very full, complete nail shapes. And I think that really works out for nail polish. I think it really, really works out. But yeah, I left at around 9, so it's kind of funny because I arrived on that set at around 6:30, and I did nothing for like half an hour. So honestly, it's like a 2-hour set. It's so short, it's hilarious. I helped build 2 tables and then left. But yeah. Nothing else. Yeah, still want to meet more people. That's one of the goals anyways, meeting more people. I still need to meet this mysterious APCA girl. This mysterious Hong Konger girl from APCA. I still need to find out who she is. I think that's one of the mysteries that I need to figure out. Also, if I do want to join eBoard next year, I do have to start infiltrating them. Like for real. So we'll see. We'll kind of see. But today's not bad. I'm also not drunk. I drank tequila, which I don't think I've ever had tequila before in my life. I'm not quite sure. But it's just straight, pure, raw tequila in a red Solo cup, like 4 sips. And every sip burns, and it makes my body very warm and fuzzy, which is as expected of alcohol. But there's a very strong, like, weird, like, burned flavor to it. And apparently, according to Franklin, it's bad tequila. It's like cheap tequila, and it's bad. And then I had Malibu, which is this coconut water vodka mixture. That's so sweet, but it actually tastes pretty good. This is the commercial, Gen Z wine, not the sophisticated intellectual kinds. And then I had Coca-Cola near the end of the day. But yeah, I told quite a few people that it's my first college party, and they're like, "Wow, okay, how are you enjoying it?" But yeah, honestly, I'm not drunk. I am tired though, that's for sure. But I'm always tired. Let's be honest here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to bed now. It's probably gonna be 2:30 by the time I go to bed. Also, such a fucking long day. Like, between talking to Matt and talking to Parkin, and then the film set and the party. Such a long day. So much happened. Holy shit. But yeah. 2 more goals before the semester ends would be to meet more people, especially film production people, and actually get onto a film production set like 310. P3 310. That is like a huge goal. And I asked Matt to put in a good word for me, but I should have asked the tall blonde woman, who I think also knows Matt. I should have straight up just asked for her IG. What a slip up. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully more happens. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then I talked about religion with that Anya girl. She told me she was 16 during the pandemic, and I was like, in my head I'm like, 16? And I think she's like 20 now, so like everyone's fucking young, Jesus. But I feel like I'm like the same with them, like emotionally. I feel like I'm also just a teenager, even though I'm not biologically. But yeah, and then she told me she used to work as a front desk girl for the religion department, even though she lied on her resume and she didn't know anything about religions. Or and she told me I'm like the only person she's ever met who's majoring or minoring in religion. Yeah. But yeah, I and Colin, I was like, hey, bring me onto like film sets. I'll crew on your set. And he's a little drunk. He's like, yeah. Which is weird. Like, Colin's such a quiet person. I never really thought he would fit in settings like this, but it's also very him at the same time. He's like a very like colorful and like drinking and like internet and nightlife kind of person, but also at the same time not, because he's so quiet. I told him he looks like Andrew Wyngarden from MGMT, and he's like, okay, let me write this down for reference when I'm sober. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. Intriguing. Maybe even beneficial, but intriguing a bit nonetheless. Yeah. Okay, time now is 9:05 a.m. in the morning on November 2nd. I slept from 3:10 to 9. That is less than 6 hours. Actually, that's even worse than yesterday. Yeah, so I need sleep. I really do. And I also didn't immediately fall asleep because I'm not used to going to bed this early. Wow, my voice, what the fuck happened? Yeah, I'm a bit tired. And, I'm going to film set today from 10 to 10, and I'm probably not gonna go to anywhere for Halloween. I think it's one night is enough. One night is enough for me. And again, the film set's gonna be very long and tiring, and I don't really need to do anything. Like, I don't really need to do anything afterwards. Someone's supposed to carpool me over there, but, you know, the set is about to start in an hour, and I still haven't received any news on carpooling information. So, I guess I'll just take a bus there. Or walk, but I don't prefer walking. But I can walk there. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really have much to say. Last night was interesting, but it didn't really, like, transform me
or anything. But the thought of Colin going to production is a bit sad though. It's like I lost a comrade, you know? I lost a comrade in the cams, you know. I lost a comrade. And seeing someone being able to transition to production while I can't is kind of sad. Oh my god, my voice. What the fuck? Why is my voice like this? I don't know. But yeah. Yeah. It's fine. I'll try to vicariously, not even vicariously, indirectly be involved with film production. As long as I'm able to get into the interesting classes like 310 and 480, I would be very happy. Like, as long as I get to help out in those classes. As long as I get to be both inside and outside, you know. 310 and 480s, the big ones. But also I get to jump around outside film sets like APCA or random Chinese MFA sets like today. Or just like minor in something random and different like religion or get a job. I feel like if I'm in film production I wouldn't be able to get a job. Like I just wouldn't have the time. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely can't go anywhere tomorrow. I'm too tired. But yeah, hopefully today's set would be fun. Yeah. What? What?
No, I was
Yeah.
yeah.
这样子的话，就是这个宽让我们可以看到是特别干净的，但是这个。Okay. Yeah.
Wherever you can afford to move. Yeah. No, it's fine.
Robert Zemeckis.
Did you?
Yeah, like it's crafty, but. Ooh, what the hell?
Can I join you guys to eat?
Okay.
You want spaghetti?
Going bad.
Oh.
It's all good.
Whoa.
And we'll back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh.
it's
Oh.
alright.
Damn, okay.
Yeah. Blame the director.
Hang something this way, you have to have this arm out this way. And the other important thing to remember is that these two top knobs has to be on your right. If they are on your left, what's gonna happen? And then if you put any strength on this side, it's gonna, well, this is very tight, but it's gonna slowly let it loose. But if it's on the right side,
Okie dokie. Time now is 10:08 p.m. Wow. So let's talk about today. Very long day, very tiring. Oh my god. Yeah, so today is a film set day. After Candy or Movie, which I believe the last day I went to Candy or Movie was, I kind of forgot actually. I think it was mid-October. I said to myself, yeah, I'm not gonna go to another film set for a month. And I broke that promise. I went to a film set today. I woke up, felt like shit as expected. And we sort of like went to the Robert Zemeckis Center and went to the virtual production soundstage. And so from around 9:45 till like 8 p.m., 8:15-ish, I left. I was there. So it's supposed to be a 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. shoot, but we wrapped like more than 2 hours early because it's the first day and it's a virtual production set, and we set up for one scene and that's it. We set up for one location and that's it. That location, the tavern, only has one scene. So the plan, it's ridiculous, I know. The plan is to film that one scene over the span of 2 days, which is today and tomorrow. Which is hilarious. Because it's just like around 9 to 10 shots. So today it's only 5 shots. 10 hours. 12 hours, 5 shots. So obviously we wrapped early because it's really simple. So today turned out to be extremely chill. And it's a virtual production stage, so like the production design is really simple. It's just 2 tables, a bunch of props, and that's it. So honestly, I'm not really needed there. I didn't do much. So I arrived, I met Equo, I was like, hey, and Equo was like, yeah, it feels like it's been forever. But really, it's only been about 4 months, which is pretty long actually, considering that last semester I basically meet Equo nearly every single week. And now it's been like a 4-month gap. But honestly, I've been losing and gaining connections with so many people that was nothing. But it's cool to see Equo again. And it's so funny that I keep running into Equo. Shirley brought me onto a film set, no particular night, and I ran into Equo there. Shirley also got me into Locke, and I also ran into Equo there. Shirley also got me into this film, which is called Imperfect Us, and I also ran into Equo here, even though Equo asked me to join this set as well, but I thought he was referring to another set. Anyways, so the script, I actually read it quick skim this morning. It's kind of fucking terrible. It's about an office woman who, he's like, boring day at job in the office, and she looks at her computer and she's playing a video game, like a fantasy, like a gacha game, like Genshin Impact or Arknights or something. Apparently I'm not familiar with those games, but she sort of suddenly wakes up and she finds herself in the game. My life is like a video game. And she finds this blue-haired warrior with a sword in a tavern, and they go to his house, and then they're in this frozen castle, and then they're fighting a dragon or something, and then it just ends, and then she wakes up and she returns to the office. So it's a very dumb movie. It feels like something that a 10-year-old would make up after watching an anime. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, wow, this is literally an anime. And the first page of the script says all the dialogue will be said in a language that is not English, which is very confusing. So what do you mean? Like, what language? So I thought that it's like a mix of Mandarin and Japanese, and I was right. Except the disappointing news is that there was some weird school restriction that says you can't have, like, quote-unquote foreign languages in a virtual production. But then somebody else said, oh, that's because our two main characters, our main character, the woman, speaks Japanese but doesn't speak Mandarin, and the other guy, who plays the blue-haired hero, speaks Mandarin but not Japanese. And so linguistically it's difficult, so let's just do the whole thing in English. But I thought it would be cool to see them just say something once in Mandarin and say something back in Japanese. It's so ridiculous, but it's so cool. It's like Wong Kar-wai's 2046. So yeah, anyways, very chill day. Literally nothing else happened. I helped move some tables, and then like almost before the first shot, the producer Coleman came up to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to be a background?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure." And the costumes are really elaborate. We have a very professional costume person who actually like bought a bunch of random shit on Amazon, but essentially like medieval inspired, like isekai fantasy anime clothing. So she actually, me and there are two PDs, another PD, someone by the name of Dan Shi. She also got grabbed and became a background, which is fucking hilarious. She's a PD, she's a department head, and now she's just a background, like extra, or not real extra, but like background, like nobodies. So us both, we got changed. I was put into this, and thank God I had an undershirt, but that didn't matter anyways, because I was given a low chest tunic, like a low V, like right now actually, but even lower, with short sleeved. And my undershirt goes here. So the wardrobe person gave me another long-sleeved thing, like a medieval shirt underneath. And then this very long, soft, red, like reddish brown pants, and then this reddish brown cloak, and then we have this brown sash, and then a lighter brown belt, and then yeah, it was very elaborate, which is really cool. I feel I haven't done dress up like this in such a long time. In fact, I don't think I've done dress up like this ever. I think the last time I've ever done dress up like this was like when I played Macbeth in Form 4. It's been a while, so it's actually pretty cool. At first I thought it's really lame, and it is, but when I'm forced to be some random adventurer in an anime world, like, it's so stupid, but it's kind of fun. So the whole day I was just a background, and I was in all 5 of the shots, and the most fun part is, like, we don't have any lines, yet we're supposed to talk. So me and Dan Shi, we just made up random stuff. So we were given, like, fake weapons. Also, this other girl, like Asian American, Chinese American girl, her name, fuck, I already forgot her name. Fuck. Oh shit. I'll remember. Caitlin, or Kaylin? She's really friendly. She's a freshman, she's 18, if what the fuck? Why are people so young these days? And she's a freshman actor in SDA, School of Dramatic Arts, and she's just a PA, and she was grabbed to be a background at first, but then later she had to leave at 2 p.m., so she got swapped out. She swapped out with the PD, Danshi. So me and Danshi, me and Kaylin was like really, like we're really like we talk a lot and we're joking with each other, and it's like it's going really well. I don't know why, but I'm really good with extroverts. Maybe it's like a yin yang thing. It's like a complementary thing. But like me, when I'm with extroverts, I talk really well. And then when I'm with other introverts, it's bad. I mean, it makes sense. But anyways, so me and Danshi, we actually made up random stuff to talk about. We were given fake weapons, like a fake axe that actually looks pretty real, and people actually thought it was real or it was heavy and sharp. And when I like hit myself with the axe, Equo was like, ah, like Equo was like, oh, but no, it's not. It doesn't hurt. It's just plastic. And then we made up lines like, oh, so I got this axe. My grandfather gave it to me. I'm going to use it to kill someone who owes me money and insulted my family. And it's just so fun. It's just all this random lore. And then like, oh yeah, you know, and then like we have to make fake conversation with the blue-haired hero. Hilariously, his character's name is Hiro, like Hiro, like Hiro, which is a Japanese name, but the actor doesn't speak Japanese. And we made fake conversation with him, and he's like, oh, that's a really nice axe. Like, how much is it? And I'm like, 5 gold coins. It's so funny. And at the end of each take, we all burst out laughing. But like, no one else is laughing. It's just me and Danshi, and also Hiro, whoever. We would just laugh because it's so stupid. Like, we would just improv these lines, and like, oh yeah, the axe, and it's like, oh, what kind of steel is this? Like, he asked me, what steel is this axe? And I'm like, titanium steel. You know, it's the real deal. It's you see these patterns, it's real. Yeah, and then like he had to talk about like magic potions, these tiny glass jars, and they have like Gatorade and like ginger ale and Coca-Cola. So it's like red and blue, and one is kind of translucent, whitish. One is kind of brown, and he's like, oh, it is an invisibility potion. You can get it for 3 gold coins, and we have to use mushrooms. And Danshi asks, oh, what kind of mushrooms? And he paused for a second, and he's like, ginger mushrooms. They're really hard to find. And I was like, oh, but like, don't you get confused? It's so weird and crazy, and it changes every take. Like one take, he was like, he asked me, so what's the first creature you killed? And I was like, oh, it's actually a giant snake. And then the next time he asked me, what's the last creature you killed? And I was like, oh, it's like a slime in a dungeon. So I'm like regurgitating a bunch of anime tropes. And then like Danshi had a sword, and there's like a green part, and she's like, oh, it's a diamond, and it's like from an ancient town. Like, it's so funny. Yeah, and then like, yeah, so it was honestly kind of fun. And then lunch happened at 4 p.m. in its Northern Cafe, and it's really good. Rice, bok choy, mapo tofu, mala, fried chicken, pork ribs, potatoes, and beans, and then the other dish is broccoli and beef. Ate shit tons of food, crap tons of food, a lot of food, crazy food. And then, yeah, and then I saw Diane, the Persian woman, who was like, hey, and then didn't really talk to me, because she's on another side. Also, the Robert Zemeckis Center, it's like kind of like a maze. There's like a lot of like other classrooms and like weird other rooms there. It's really interesting. But yeah, the virtual production, we're just in front of a freaking LED screen, which is displaying Unreal Engine, and then the computer is connected to the camera, and it's sort of like that scene in Mission Impossible 4 when Tom Cruise and Simon Pegg are at the Kremlin, and it's like a screen, but like depending on how the person in front of the screen looks, the screen changes so that it's almost like there's no screen and it's a real background. So the camera, if it pans, the whole LED screen changes perspective. So in the camera, when you look at it, it looks like we're actually in the freaking tavern. But the question is, it needs to be in soft focus the whole time, because it's going to be very obvious if the LED screen is in focus and the actors are also in focus. So that's one downside. That's a huge limitation in my opinion. And sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like a whole range on the stage, and it's a small stage by the way, whole range is in focus and then the background is super blurry. Like what is going on? F1.2? And it's like, yeah, and they have to light us. And also because the camera has to stare in one way because it has to always face the LED screen. So we, the PD, we have to constantly rotate the set 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and yeah. But yeah, aside from that, it's fine, it's fun, it's whatevs. I also got to speak a little Mandarin a little bit. Both Shirley and the director Daisy also spoke to me in Mandarin, even though I only understand them 90%-ish. With the director, I think she has like a thicker accent. Like, I think she's like Beijing or something. I can kind of tell. Maybe I'm wrong, but like when the director speaks to me, I understand even less. I said a little bit in Mandarin, and again, it's weird because Equo is someone whom I've spoken to in English for like half a year already. Actually, more than that. So, whatever. Also, like, the actress, like, because I get to be, like, an actor today, so I got to socialize with the other two actors, which is fun, and, yeah, the guy, the blue-haired hero, he's like, oh, I'm from Guangzhou, and I'm like, wow, do you speak Cantonese? And he's like, no, but I can understand it. And then Shirley heard it and said, I can speak a little in Cantonese, which is again jump scare. Whenever someone randomly speaks my mother tongue, I'm like, holy shit. There was another moment at the end of the day when I spoke with the actress, and in the middle of the day, I saw on her table the manga of Frieren, but it's full Japanese, and Daisy, the director, got her for reference. Got this manga for her for reference, which is obviously. It's a manga reference. The whole thing is like an anime. And then I recommended Konosuba. I said, when I read the script, I thought of Konosuba. And she's like, what is that? And I'm like, it's short, so it's like Konosuba Rashisekai. So I'm like speaking Japanese to an actual Japanese person. But I think, but her English is really good, so I suspect she's either like born in Japan, but like quickly came to America, or born in America, but under very Japanese parents, or maybe she's just really freaking good at English, like me. Either way, I was like, Konosuba Rashisekai ni cool, and she's like, she didn't compliment me or anything, it's just like natural. Oh, of course you know the full title, but she searched it up, and I'm like, ooh, and she's like, oh, thank you for the recommendation. And then Coleman and like two other guys. Like, after we wrapped at around 7:30, I stayed behind for like 45 more minutes just chatting with Equo because it's too freaking chill. We gotta catch up on life, you know? It's funny, it's like, the filming is cool and all, but the real deal here is socializing. So me and Equo, we talked, and it's nice, and this guy, I don't even know his freaking name, he's a Latino American, and he's from Columbia University, so he knows nothing about USC. We have zero mutuals, but we talked about like Asian cultures and stuff, and once again I sound super knowledged, even though I shouldn't be, but I am actually in America. So yeah, that's it. I got home, now I'm here. So tomorrow I don't need to show up because it's the same set, they don't need art people, and my background character, he's gone. He went off the frame. He's gone. He's out. There was a moment when the boom op decided to just put the boom mic on top of a C stand over the actress, and the C stand got loose and the boom fell onto the actress' head, and she did this, but she's like fine. She's totally fine. But everyone was like, holy shit. And we stopped the production for like 15 minutes. That was kind of crazy. Thank God no one got hurt. And then at the end of the day, after we wrapped, the producer or the DP had to demonstrate how to use a C-stand, a little PSA, to make sure we all know how to use a C-stand, even though as an RPA I will not. Yeah, that was like the only moment. But yeah, nothing else. Very chill. I'm glad it's chill. My last 2 sets have been quite intense. Like in summer, even though it's really short, it was intense. The first bit was very fucking intense with the house. And then Can You Movie was also quite intense and not that enjoyable of a set. I'm glad this one is just walking around in front of an LED screen recreating anime in real life. Even though the stories are very lame, like, low-key I'm glad I'm part of this now. Like, I'm fucking glad. So, that's that. Now, I'm back. Because I have such a huge lunch, and I just showered and everything, I'm not in the mood to go downstairs, change into new clothes, and cook steak or chicken thigh or fried chicken, which is the only 3 meats I have. So I thought to myself, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna eat light for dinner. I have bread in front of my feet. I'll just make a sandwich. So I got tomatoes, I got salami, I got some cheddar cheese. I'm just gonna make a quick sandwich. 600, 700 calories. I'll have, it's gonna be nice. I'll probably eat a dessert. Maybe I'll drink something, but I already drank a bit of Coca-Cola, so I don't know. And it's gonna be nice. And tomorrow I get to stay at home all day. I'll order food on Wii. Eggplants, lemon tea, mackerel, fish, some other meats. Egg tarts maybe, that'd be cool. Number 2, I have a bunch of random miscellaneous shit to do. So today I thought, I gave it some deep thought. Because I want to try DPing once, but I realize I can't just randomly DP in something. And actually being offered the role of gaffer for an APC music video, even though it's really cringy, actually, it's not that bad of an idea. Now I think it's not that bad. Just for the experience and just for fun. So I am thinking I'm going to text them back and say, hey, do you guys still need help? The thing is, they never responded to me saying, oh, we don't need you anymore. So technically I can go back and ask them if they still need help. And also, I took a peek at the WhatsApp group. I'm still in it. They never kicked me out for the APC music video. And it says, oh, we're trying to do this Wong Kar-wai thing, which is so fucking stupid. Like, oh, of course, aesthetics, vibes, nostalgia. Of course you're doing that shit. So I'm like, hey, I'm the only Hong Konger guy here. Like, you need me for consultant anyways. Oh shit, Breathless. Yeah, I talked to Equal about Film 33 today, and Coleman, the producer, walked in, and I talked about how everyone got horny, and Coleman was like, "Wow, I walked in on something weird. Are you talking about a Halloween party?" And I'm like, "No, it's talking about a film set," and we all bursted out laughing because it's so insane. Oh, another very funny moment today was when me and Danchu have to walk off the stage, leave frame. And I was gonna say something really stupid, like, see you next Tuesday. And I really wanted to laugh. That was so good. Anyways, I digress. Where was I? Right. I may go back. There was also a moment today where I overheard someone saying that they're in undergrad film production. And I really wanted to go up to them and say, yo, if you're in a 310, invite me. I'm already a little bit, like, bummed out that I didn't get that woman's I know her name, and actually, a quick Instagram search, I found her profile. I'm tempted to follow her, but I don't know, man. It's a missed opportunity. I want to go up to her and say, yo, if you need help in 310, get me. I want to get into 310s. I want to infiltrate the 310s. So, we'll see. Again, it's a good thing Colin is now in prod, because he can be my entryway, right? And we're very similar people. Like Colin, Anya, and like we're weird artsy horror people. Like that's my group. Okay, that's my group. But yeah, I am rolling back. I know APCA is fucking lame and North and Junction warned me, but I don't know. I still think I should try really hard for the rest of this semester and next semester to like intern or be something, and then like maybe be a e-board next year, hopefully. And you know, maybe I'll get to know more about Katie, the Korean American girl who apparently everyone knows who she is, and Jia Yun, the Shanghai girl I met last night. She's shadowing Katie. What if I shadow Daisy, the Korean American, not the Chinese one? You know, for screenwriting stuff. That would be fun. But yeah, I would like to know more about Katie. And I would, you know, of course, there's a mysterious Hong Konger girl in APCA. Interesting stuff. And the other thing is, what's the other thing? What's the other thing I want to do or I'm planning on doing? Right, so Colin is not going to 290 anymore, so I don't really have a reason to pick Monday and Wednesday nights, even though it's not a bad time. So I'm probably gonna coordinate with Liza or Rachel, and oh fuck, because like Colin is like the next big person that I really want to work with. One is Matt, the other is Colin. But now they're both, like, Matt is done with 290, Colin's moved on to prod. So I'm probably going to coordinate either with Rachel or Liza and email the academic advisor and tell him to get me a different D clearance if the schedule works out. But I have to do it ASAP because November 5th is the registration date. And then, yeah, I also bought on eBay the JSA 4K Collector's Edition box set, which cost at $70 fucking dollars, which is insane, but honestly, like, I paid, like, 50 something for Happy Together, which is still cheaper than JSA, but, you know, JSA was, like, Collector's Edition, like, there's a lot of shit. I paid, like, I don't know, 100 for Chunking Express. So it's not too crazy, and it was already a discount. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. And I'm definitely gonna buy a Blu-ray player this month. For real. And I'm gonna just spend a whole day just sitting on the couch, sofa, looking at Criterion movies and just salivating over them. Yeah, I believe that's it. But yeah, fighting. Battle resumes, man. Battle resumes. Yeah, battle fucking resumes, baby, and you know, round 5 so far seems uneventful because there isn't a single event that really broke me or excited me or anything, but truth be told, I've done a lot. And a lot of events now seem tame, but if those things happen to me in round 1, it's like not tame at all. Like round 1, if you tell me in round 1 that I'm gonna go to a Halloween party, meet a bunch of people, a lot of ABGs and attractive young men and women, and I'm gonna be drinking tequila and vodka and like talking to artsy people, it's like, holy shit, Enoch, what the fuck, Detective Rises? But I just did that last night, and it was nice. It was okay. I just did photography for like HKOS, and I met a Hong Kong celebrity, and I worked on like I think Imperfect Dust is like the 4th set I've worked on this, or the third set I've worked on in round 5 so far. I believe it's the 3rd set. First one in summer, Candy or Movie, and this. Yes. But, is it? I think it is. I don't know. Like, in round 1, I don't have any sets. In round 2, I go to, like, Aobus Film Set, and it's, like, a huge event. But, like, now, it's, like, holy shit. I'm just going places, right? And, yeah. Round 5, baby. Round 5. And then, yeah, concert, and I got a job. Round 5 is fruitful if you think about it, but it's also not that crazy. I don't know. Round 5. Yeah. I don't know what to say. Lots and lots of stuff, lots and lots. But yeah, I'm grateful that I get to sleep tomorrow. I'm gonna do laundry, I'm gonna edit stuff, watch movies, chill, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it, mostly for not for round 5, for today. Yeah.